everybody. Sorry, I had to fix that. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Arc 2 Reads with Studio Reverie. I hope you're all doing well today. I'm going to do my best to read all your names from afar. Welcome, Jack of all trades, Jekyll, Kamen, Dunny, Narago, Pow, Current. Oh my goodness. And why? Hi guys, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you for joining us. Later today, we may be coming back with the ReZero announcement thing that's coming out. We'll see. It really depends on if people actually want to see that or not, or if anybody is awake for that. So we'll keep you posted on that. But for today, we're gonna start with Arc 2 content, and in a second, we'll introduce the cast. So, oh, and hello, Lol Trash. Good to see you. Alright everybody, I am back, and we are going to introduce our cast from top to bottom on Discord, and we're going to start up with Andrew.
Hello, I'm Andrew. I'm an editor for Studio Reverie, and I'm glad to be here.
Yay!
Hi, I'm Citrus, or True Iridescence. I'm a voice actor here at Studio Reverie, and I'm happy to be here too. Real excited.
Woo-hoo.
Hello, my name is Dunsparce. I'm a mod for the Discord and the YouTube stream. I'm very happy to be here and with these people. Thank you.
Welcome! And as you know, I'm Kyle, so I'm your Amelia, and a variety of others. I also am the big bad manager of this channel. Yay! Gold, your turn!
Hello! I'm Gold! Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. I just wanted to let you guys know that we have a brand new membership rewards. And that means you get to read the chapters early because there's a chapter released. And I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be able to narrate probably this stream and talk to you about the chapters afterwards. So yeah, please sit tight, get yourself some nice snack, lunch maybe, breakfast, depending on what time zone you're at, and let us have some fun reading this few chapters of Arc 2.
Yay!
Hello, I am Carmen. I am also an editor for Reverie, and I'm also happy to be here.
Welcome, welcome! Kiki, you here yet? Oh, you're here.
Hi, I'm Keegan. I am a voice actress and just small artist, and I'm so glad to be here. I can voice Beatrice. Yay.
Yay!
Hello, I am Tealdi. I am narrating, I believe, today, and since everyone else has said it, I want to fit in, so I guess I'm also glad to be here. No, I really am glad to be here.
Good.
We go.
I'm Palazard, or Connor, if you know me. I do the editing, translations, proofreading, and basically script out the entire chapters for this arc and Arc 3 if and when we get there. I do narration, Kiritaka, in the main reads, which you should be hearing my debut for that in the coming chapters pretty soon. And I'm happy that everyone else is here, but oh man, y'all are in for some wild shit today.
Yay.
Hi, I'm Vivi. I play Puck. That's all I got.
Yay!
I'm Vivi! Oh no,
Okay,
I'm Gold.
whatever.
Hi.
I'm Gold. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Hi, I'm Wolf. I play Subaru. I'm scared for what's in store for me today.
This is what doing Wolfiana does to a man. You can hear in his voice a permanent whine that's kind of been baked in.
Yeah.
He always sounds like suffering at the introduction, and by the end, he's like super hardcore
He's
into
hyped.
it.
Well, this is how he gets his fuel. He kind of just revs up. You know, he wakes up. We keep him out of cryo sleep for a second, just so that he can voice act a few chapters, and then afterward we put him back under.
I'm
throw himself out the
defrosting
window?
still.
Yeah, Cannon, he jumped out the window yet last time. I left him down there, just pulled him back up. He's been in the bushes.
The animals have been hanging out with me. They're cool.
Foraging.
Huh?
He really is a wolf.
Inside you, there are 2 wolves.
Stay strong, mate.
Alright, let's take a look at chapter 5, shall we?
Yeehaw! Yeah, we shall, miss.
What did you drink this morning?
Are we going southern today?
It's a southern reading. Hey there, Subaru.
Oh no, let's not do Southern.
Oh,
You all
no.
remember. Yeah.
Wait a minute. If we're doing
Was it
Southern, does that mean do I
The
replace
audition we do not speak of.
Yeah, you're regular Isaki. Do you
Just
remember
hold
when
on
we
to
all
that until
auditioned?
Anastasia shows up.
Oh yeah, we all auditioned for Anastasia, and it was rough.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was like, here is the southern accent that you should all make sure to do a southern accent. I typed, and I was like, that's not what I typed, by the way. I typed you could do a southern accent. Everybody was like, oh my god, we have to do a southern accent. And I was
Everyone
like, wait a
just saw
second.
Southern accent and went, well, it's time to go deep down south.
I didn't realize how faithfully people would try that.
Gosh.
But it was very funny because in retrospect, all these people that did the southern accent I then came to know. So seeing their bad, sometimes okay, southern accents was very amusing at the time.
Damn.
Sorry for the history lesson. Let's dial in for this first chapter. Real question is, who will be narrating today?
I can narrate.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Since I don't think I
Kiki.
need to jump in for any of the.
But be
lady
prepared.
voices, so.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
All right, we got our
Kiki,
normal.
can you have that as Betty, I reckon, instead of Beatrice? It was
Yeah, I
peeking
had
off
it
the
as
top.
Beatrice, I reckon, for a bit, but it didn't look good on the street, so I just switched
Oh,
back.
I'm so sorry. I could try to fix it. I could try to fix this.
Yeah, I'll just stick to my regular name.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
You can just do Betty, and it should be fine. Even if it does stack, it could still look cute that way.
All right, let's see. Okay, so
Go ahead.
our Citrus is our Ram. Do you still want to be Ram, Connor?
I am happy to be Rom, but there is also another character this time that I would like to play if no one else already is.
Oh.
So I will.
Is Roswell speaking?
Roswell is.
Oh, that's usually what I do. So.
Okay. Then yes, I will be Rom.
I got this. I got assigned this role. I don't know, a long time ago. I don't know.
I'm
been,
so sorry, Connor.
I never get to use it. You know.
That's true.
Call him out.
All right.
It's
Whoa,
fine.
Connor.
So you can be
where?
Rome.
Go.
Later.
Rome. Ram.
Rome.
Have you
I will
ever
be
seen
wrong.
both of them in the same room? That's all I'm saying.
Nah.
For real.
There we go. Connor Squared, get the fucking Kaylee Kyle's treatment. Fuck you both.
Exactly.
Did you all see what Maddie got me for my freaking birthday?
I know, that's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
For those of you who haven't seen my Twitter yet, Maddie, our wonderful mod who went to a con yesterday, spent way too much money asking Kaylee Mills to wish me a happy birthday.
I wonder if she knows. Does she know?
Well, Maddie said she knows what Studio Reverie is, and that smile seemed way too cheeky to not know. I'm just saying.
Does she know?
I fucking
she
hope
knows.
not. I don't want her to. I don't need her to hear me ever. She's way better than me. Okay. Before I panic again, let's go. Alright, we got
All right.
everyone. We got TLD narrator good.
Yep.
Alright, let me pull up the music. And we can get going. If I can find the right tab.
The theme for music, Kyle's, is awkward and comedic.
Oh, thank you so much. I fucked it up so much last week. I can do that.
What? Call the Witch isn't suitable for Subaru's P arc?
Don't remind us.
If I have to suffer, so do all of you.
There's some dark magic about to be happening on this carpet.
I'd actually.
It's the rules of the Musketeers. One for all and all for one.
I'd actually forgotten
Dang
about
it.
the arc. Why
Yay,
did you have to
PPR.
remind me?
Marking his territory. It's all right.
At least he didn't mark on any of the girls.
Yeah.
No!
Don't give him any ideas.
No!
Okay, shake it off. Shake it off.
All right. All right,
Okay,
we ready?
Yes.
Everybody, dial in. Let's get ready for this chapter.
There's probably one more thing that I should alert Citrus of alongside myself for here.
What?
There's more synced dialogue that is very
Oh.
specifically mentioned. This
all right,
is
they speak.
synced.
Yeah.
Do it together,
okay.
friends. Hell yeah.
So for this, we'll just in our heads just count 1, 2. The moment we hear whichever line before it is supposed to end, and we should.
Is it this
sync that pretty
chapter?
well. It should be this chapter and the next.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Arc 2, Chapter 5. Feelings to be aware of. Amelia sighed and looked over at Subaru, who had thrown himself onto the ground. She then put her fingers to her lips as if she had just remembered something.
That reminds me.
Subaru thought that the gestures she occasionally made, like that, were quite endearing and cute. He leapt to his feet as Amelia shifted her finger from her lips to pointing at her eye.
Never having seen a spirit before. Is that because your mana control is unstable?
My mana control?
It's simple enough to just focus it in your eyes, right? That's all you need to do.
Leah, it isn't that simple. The people you've interacted with so far have just had very good mana control for human beings. Well, that and Subaru's situation is a little bit more unique.
Unique?
Amelia asked that whilst tilting her head to the side, so Puck crossed his arms and nodded.
I've taken some glances at it, and I don't think Subaru's gate has been opened properly. It's so closed up, like it's on a level of someone who's never used magic or the spirit arts. That's the impression I'm getting.
That doesn't sound too strange to me. If you live a normal life, it should be like that, shouldn't it?
Yeah, that's precisely what's so strange. You didn't live a normal life, did you?
Subaru watched the two of them lock eyes, nod to each other, and then look at him with bated breaths.
Being in a world of two people you hesitate to interrupt. Oh, I'm envious.
Yes. Yeah. He's definitely not normal.
You've got a disturbing definition of normal. I mean, it's pretty rude to look at someone's face and declare whether or not they're normal. What's up with your daughter over there?
She's making me glad that she grew up to be good, honest, and a straightforward girl.
The idiocy of a cat parent at its finest!
Subaru facepalmed at Puck's attitude, which was far too lenient towards his daughter. Seeing that the two of them were on the same wavelength, Amelia spoke up.
You two seem to have gotten super close.
In response to Amelia's mutterings, Subaru and Puck glanced at each other, nodded, and high-fived, with Puck pressing his paw against Subaru's palm.
Hey! We are super close. We're like on the same wavelength. If we joined up, we could become the top comedy duo!
You just want me for my body, don't you?
True love and fur love are two different things, but I'm sure I'll come back to you in the end. I can tolerate a bit of flirtatiousness from Mad Kitty.
Subaru's thoughts were interrupted by a brush against the cat's paw. Gleefully fluffing up Puck's fur, he had basically given up on the conversation. Amelia left Puck completely to Subaru and gave them instructions.
Puck, go over there and have fun with Subaru. I'll take care of the spirits by myself. Don't disturb me again.
We'll leave you alone.
Completely alone.
Amelia silently ignored them as they shrugged their shoulders in amusement. She quickly made some distance between them and herself, and continued her previous engagement with the spirits around her. The view of her talking to the spirits was just as mystical as before. Subaru wanted to touch a part of the majesty of the scene, and so got up to do so.
That's why I didn't mean what I just said. Please give me your blessing.
I would give you my blessing, but she'll get angry if she's bothered again. So let's stay back here. She's in the middle of an important ceremony. As a spirit, I can't just overlook that.
You were pretty involved with bothering her before. What changed?
She's performing the ritual to form a contact with spirits, fulfilling her oath to them.
In response to the string of words he was unfamiliar with, Subaru gave Puck a frown of incomprehension.
Let's see...
Puck began with a preface while searching for the words to explain.
A spirit arts user has to make a contract with a spirit in order to use spirit arts. The details of the contract vary from spirit to spirit. That all makes sense so far?
Like how interest and collateral differ depending on the moneylender. Okay!
I'm not okay, but let's keep going. So, what the spirit wants is different for each individual, but when the other party is a young, lesser spirit like that, the contract is typically made through the person's mana. That's why it's so easy to get their cooperation.
It's easy to do, huh? But the way you said that, a proper spirit is different, right? Is that right, Mr. Spirit?
It's helpful that you're catching on so quickly, Subaru. I'm glad because I feel like you're so scatterbrained that you get sidetracked and don't get anywhere in your ramblings.
Subaru scratched his cheek in embarrassment. Puck looked at Subaru warmly and scratched his beard.
As you said, Subaru, I and other conscious spirits are going to be a bit more demanding. We compensate the practitioner for that, though. I'm still a reasonably powerful spirit, so the oath I have from Leah is even more demanding than that.
I've been meaning to mention this for a while, but I think it's really cute that you call her Leah.
Not as much as you calling her Amelia Tan. I think I may start using that next time.
I'm begging you. Please don't.
Puck took offense to Subaru's demerit, but Amelia interrupted them with a frustrated look on her face. Looking at her staring at them, Subaru could see the glow of the spirits had dissipated from around her. It seemed the spirit show was over. Subaru stood up and brushed the grass off his butt.
Is the party over? I guess it was a bit more than I thought it would be.
I had to take a break. I had to break it off because the two of you were just getting in the way and disrupting my concentration. You must be a professional. Because you get on people's nerves even when you're far away from them.
Two people who shouldn't have met. Typical. I have a feeling something is about to begin. I can't stop my heart from pounding!
Subaru pounded his chest, and from beneath him, Puck flew up and landed on Amelia's outstretched hand. Puck then looked up at Amelia with round black eyes and smiled.
It's alright. I don't sense any malice, hostility, or harm in Subaru. He's got a screw loose, but he's a good boy.
Screw?
Amelia was taken aback by Puck's scattered evaluations.
Why'd you... in front of him? And such an evaluation? Even if it is true, wouldn't it hurt to be told that?
Oh, no. I understand why he'd want to probe me. It's natural to be suspicious of a nice guy like me who doesn't know his own background. I was hurt by your follow-up though, Amelia Tan!
Amelia unintentionally covered her mouth with her hand, and Subaru laughed at his honest reaction. He had guessed that Puck touching him was some kind of probe of him. The two of them didn't seem careless enough to accept Subaru without precautions, as he had given them no real information so far. Even the extremely sudden appearance of Rom and Rem earlier must have been some kind of trick they pulled, since they were keeping an eye on what he was doing when he was alone.
But... there's really no better way to explain it.
Subaru's situation in the world was that he had no family register to match against his family name. It was difficult to explain even that, and doing so would likely get him identified as a crazy person. That being the case, he was fine with going with Puck's judgment of his personality. Puck seemed to be able to read minds to some extent, so he would be able to convey Subaru's situation more accurately. At least, that was what Subaru had figured. It was a gamble.
It's alright, Leah. Subaru knows about that too. He is a bad boy for using my mind reading to his advantage, though.
It's a fair assessment. Keep up the good work, my friend.
Puck looked a bit puzzled when Subaru said that to him, but then he burst out laughing.
I haven't been treated like that in a really long time. Yes, I like it.
Subaru sensed there was something meaningful in Puck's happy demeanor, but he floated up to Amelia's face before Subaru could ask about it. Puck then put his forehead to hers with his eyes closed, creating a strange but surreal image.
Take this! Puck-style super secret technique! Cat's forehead impact!
Subaru was sad to have been left out by the two silent people, so he had tried to drown his loneliness by making an accompanying voiceover. However, the two of them were concentrating on their work and didn't react, which only added to the loneliness he felt.
I can't think of any more strategies to get their attention. I'm in tears.
Yeah, I get it. Wow. Subaru is thinking about a lot of things. Why are you crying like a little girl?
I don't know. What's this now?
I was just trying to share my awareness, or something like that. Your situation was hard to explain, so I didn't. It's easier to talk about that if she just felt what I felt, you know?
Puck had moved next to the silver-haired girl and answered Subaru's question in her place in a straightforward manner. With her hand on Puck's shoulder, Amelia nodded.
That's what I meant. It's through Puck, but I got the message. Subaru, I'm sorry I doubted you. I know you knew I did, but it still doesn't feel good.
Isn't it a little more titillating sentence-wise to say you were probed by a beauty? Next time, instead of Puck, Amelia-tan should be the one to go directly into my mind.
He gave her a thumbs up and flashed his teeth. Amelia was absolutely mortified by his response. Seeing her reaction, Subaru's inner cringe towards himself began to rise at full speed. He knew he had a habit of spouting nonsense when he was feeling good.
No. Not in that perverted way. Then again, in my industry, that kind of pain is also a reward.
He also had a bad habit of screwing up his own follow-ups. He could feel a cold sweat pouring down his face with a tight smile. It might have been sweat, or drool, tears, or maybe rain, but 3/4 of the way down his chin, there was a liquid that surely made him look like a creeper. Amelia tilted her head at Subaru, who was in the midst of looking like the butt of a bad joke.
Subaru sure is incredible! You treat a spirit with a physical form like it's normal. And myself as well. A half-elf with my eye color?
I'm surprised to hear that you're even joking. And if you're not joking, I'd be even more surprised.
Those were Subaru's true feelings, but they soon melted away with a look toward Amelia's smile. It was as clear and pure as the one he had seen in the slums. Neither fragile nor sad, rather a resplendent joy to behold. Subaru became aware of his feelings for the first time as he gazed at her expression.
Risky.
Huh?
No. Oh, I've not tried anything like this in, you know, a really long time. Seriously.
Subaru's mouth went dry. He started breathing heavily and could feel his heartbeat racing.
Your pupils start to dilate, and you can't keep a straight face. Heat begins to rise up your neck to your face, and you simply lose control over all your emotions.
What's wrong? Are you alright?
Amelia asked this as she looked up at Subaru's face. the look of concern on her face when she looked up at him was just too cute.
Woo! Woo!
He yelled out and leapt high, aiming directly behind himself. He was attempting to break free from the conversation by doing a backflip. He was going to spin around brilliantly, but the morning dew had made his hand slip, and he fell from on top of his head. Then his head slipped from the grass, and he collapsed at the 1 meter mark. Amelia had rushed to Subaru, who was agonizing on the ground with his head in his hands. Her hands flailed around, grasping for what they could do to help.
What just happened?
Ouch! It hurts so! Oh my god. Are you bald on the top of your head or something? Oh. Wait.
Subaru had looked up to her from below. Amelia's cheeks looked quizzical for a moment, before getting instantly flushed when she realized his meaning. Subaru was laying down on the ground with his head right in front of her, while she was in a short skirt.
It was an accident. An unforeseeable force. I wasn't aiming for a glimpse.
Do you really mean that?
Thank you for the treat!
He sat upright, pressed his hands together, and bowed apologetically to the silver-haired goddess. When he looked back up, he could see Amelia smiling. Unlike her smile from before, there was a certain amount of tastelessness to it.
Such a face is also alluring.
You should be ashamed.
The ice block that fell was quite large, even considering how little force she used to throw it down.
It hurts. Ow. I wonder if that was enough to stop an actual bald spot from forming. How is it?
It's just slightly a bigger bump than it was before, that's all. You should be grateful for being merciful.
Subaru scratched his head while sitting cross-legged on the ground, and then patted his head. Amelia, who had turned her head away, responded to Subaru's eyes brimming with tears with a cold, sullen look on her face. The distance created by their previous actions was directly reflected by a distance of several meters having formed between them. Subaru gazed up at her white profile, only to be met by her turning her face away, pouting. He'd glance, she'd pout. Glance again, pout again. Glance, pout, glance, pout.
Stop treating this like a game. I'm mad at you.
It wasn't on purpose. It was just a self-destruct level misunderstanding.
If the events were to be recounted in an anime, the bump on his head would be slowly rising up, looking like it was begging for a cross of band-aids. At the frame of impact, there would be a background of stars. It would have been strong enough to send him so far he might have ended up back at the convenience store. He was fine then, but when he had been hit, he ended up in a daze. Amelia had looked on in horror as he collapsed, and Subaru had thought she had looked adorable then too, like a tiny animal sort of way. She did catch him looking at her through his squinted eyes, so she ended up getting angry again.
You sure do have a destructive personality. Why don't you just try taking it easy?
I have been taking it easy. Cutting corners too. And this is how I ended up. I much prefer your position.
Target of Subaru's envious gaze was Puck, who was relaxing in Amelia's lap. The figure that had been the size of a palm earlier had grown to the size of a human toddler, and was enjoying the feel of his head on her slender lap.
Don't associate me with such obscene feelings.
Shut up and stop reading my mind! The mind of an adolescent boy is dangerous things. Amelia Tan is not exempt either.
If you think too many lewd thoughts about my daughter, I'll erase you.
You can't erase me with just an angry face!
He was joking, but Subaru was inwardly experiencing a cold sweat, fearing he may be serious. Only the two of them could be part of that position.
Grooming you every morning is a mandatory clause, huh? I'm starting to think the oaths of a contract with a spirit are a bit of a joke.
That's not true. Some spirits can be more demanding. There are some terms like giving many times more mana than a normal person could provide, or killing one person a day, if they're particularly vicious.
That's way too brutal a demand. You spoil your daughter too much. Compared with one of his examples, Puck's terms were easy. I guess it's true that in any age and any world, contracts made with relatives are always sweetened. Long live nepotism!
While he was thinking about the hiring process in his mind, Subaru watched as Emilia and Puck were having an unusual vague and silent interaction. The reason why Subaru had been chattering about pointless things was because he was uncomfortable whenever there was silence when someone else was present. Subaru tended to feel like silence oppressed him when he was around other people, like saying, "They're being quiet because you don't speak up." Yet, strangely, he wasn't currently being bothered by that egotistical annoyance.
Stay quiet, stay quiet, stay quiet.
Perhaps he wasn't bothered because he could sense that the heartwarming scene in front of him was somehow supported by the silence. Emilia was gently moving her fingers through Puck's hair, arranging his short hair with strokes. The expression on her face was serious, but calm as she was grooming and giving a little hum, as if she had begun to forget her quarrel with Subaru. That alone was enough to captivate him. Subaru was thinking that he was going blind from pure perfection. The mind-reading cat looked at Subaru's audible expression with visible scorn. If the cat could read other people's emotions without touching them, he would know what the bittersweet feeling in Subaru's heart was. It was ironic that the cat's weakness was Subaru's downfall at the moment. It wasn't particularly amusing to him, though.
And I took the road less traveled by.
Her beautifully flowing silver hair was as fantastic as a drop of moonlight. Her skin as white as snow, and her amethyst eyes captivated Subaru's attention as if he was under a spell of enchantment. Her long, slender arms and legs and delicate body, so fragile that they seemed as if they would break if someone hugged them. But Subaru knew that she had a strong heart that would never break. Noble, beautiful, she was his dream girl. And she, in no way, had eyes for a blue-ass shut-in from another world.
I wonder if even just doing this is a luxury.
A mysterious feeling came to his mind when he considered that. He got up and started to swing the wooden sword around more to shake it off. The last time he had such an unspoken feeling was back in elementary school, and that was the kind of feeling that ends up not being said even after dragging it along for 10 years. Whenever those feelings came back to life, the speed of his swings became sharper.
Oh, be gone, thoughts! Fuck you, regret! Who cares if Buddha says there's 108 feelings? I'll slay them all! Every last one!
He swiped at something unseen, and said something fierce every time, as one does when they swing a sword. It wasn't like him to waste time mulling over an issue. He would choose the clear and appropriate answer without worrying. That's the kind of man Natsuki Subaru is.
Look, a little boy. I could watch them play all day.
Yes, try and keep still. I absolutely agree.
Such comments were made by two people upon seeing Subaru in the midst of his battle. Visible only behind Subaru's raging back, Emilia's lips unpursed, her expression showing not a sign of the exasperated anger she had just been showing. The fact that he didn't notice any of that was what made Subaru.
Oh, it's you two. Did you need something?
Emilia's voice caught Subaru's attention, so he stopped pretending and looked back toward the mansion. The twin maids of pink and blue hair were strolling out into the garden in a graceful and orderly walk. They both curtsied in a calm fashion and spoke in perfect unison.
The Lord of the Manor, Master Roswell, has returned. Please come this way.
Their flawless synchronization shocked Subaru, but not as much as the contrast between them and the girls he'd seen earlier. The two had been more lighthearted before, as if they were joking around with him, whereas now the duo certainly displayed the dignity and grace of a mansion's servants. In essence, they had switched from private mode to worker mode.
Ah, it's Roswell. Well, I'd best go and see him then.
Yes, you as well, dear guest. If you are awake, he asked that you join us.
Puck shrank down and sank into Amelia's silver hair. She brushed aside some of her hair to allow him in, and stood up looking a little calmer. Subaru, who was requested to join them, brushed aside his sweat, though he was struggling to do so. The blue-haired one quickly stepped beside him and took over with a cloth she pulled from her pocket.
My bad.
No, it's what a servant does, dear guest.
It's what a servant should do, dear guest.
Even though the blue-haired one was the one supposed to respond, the pink-haired one had done so too, seemingly as a reflex. Feeling refreshed, Subaru turned to Amelia.
So, who's this Roswell?
The owner of this mansion. All right, I didn't explain that.
Amelia put her palm to her mouth, realizing her mistake. She pondered how to respond and raised an eyebrow.
Let's see. The thing about Roswell is, well, you'll understand when you see him.
You gave up way too fast! Is he that bland?
No.
No,
The opposite.
He was refuted by a quartet of people, and Subaru was so shocked he dropped the wooden blade. The blue maid lightly flicked the falling sword with her foot, sending it into a rising spin, and then easily caught it. She followed up with a rigid bow and stepped back to join her sister. Once she did, the pink maid indicated the mansion with her hand.
It doesn't matter what word you use. You will understand Master Roswell when you meet him. Yes, I'm sure it will be fine.
The pink and blue maids looked at each other and nodded, and tentatively agreed. Subaru was left puzzled, so Amelia lightly patted him on his shoulder as they started walking back to the mansion.
I'm sure you'll get along with him just fine. Subaru, he can be a bit of a headache, though.
The way she said that did not make Subaru feel better.
And that is the chapter.
Exacerbated! That's the word.
Exacerbated.
That's a hard word.
In the midst of it, my brain just went, nope, too many sounds, stop.
Exacerbated.
Exacerbated.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did Subaru see Amelia's coochie?
Her panties.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
That's less bad. That's less
Yeah,
bad.
that's what the white is.
Yeah, he's like,
It's
oh, what?
her
Yeah.
undies.
Alright, okay. That's
You think that she doesn't wear anything under there? Is that what your head? Is that your head cannon?
I thought that's what it was!
Is that your head cannon?
Oh my god.
Oh, and then he goes down a wall.
You're revealing something about your head cannon. I see how it is. I see how it is. Bright red Kylie.
Yeah, shut up, Jack of all trades. That's where my mind went. I'm sorry. Fuck.
We got a pervert here. We gotta lock her up.
Lock it up. Lock the FBI. Open up. Hey, you know what? I am Amelia. She is me. It's fine.
Yeah, apparently it's linked. I mean, you would know better than any of us, actually, now that we're thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. Wait, actually, yeah.
I think she wears like everything: chastity belt, blue.
Yeah, there's like a padlock down there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Puck.
Well,
Well,
just as-
the key. Oh god, I'm gonna stop.
Just as the reminder for this, Amelia does not dress herself or pick out her clothes. Puck
That
does
is true.
all of
Puck
that.
does. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah, so.
He controls everything.
She was already upset last chapter about wearing this outfit because she didn't pick it out.
It's true.
Damn, Vivi, you dressed me up well.
I do my best.
Fashion icon. What can I tell you?
How did the unison parts work? It's kind of hard from our own perspectives to kind of gauge that.
It worked well enough. Yeah.
I liked
It worked as well as you can expect over distance, so
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
It like was a little off at first, but that's how it starts, and then both of you were in unison right after. The Discord
Yeah.
delay doesn't help, but also,
Yeah, exactly.
It was
Yeah.
hilarious when the follow up was in perfect sync because the other ones went really well. The first one, yeah, it's gonna be rough, but it was hilarious, and I love that.
That's the
Yeah,
one that's like,
yeah,
yes, perfect sync. Imagine that in your mind. It was flawless.
It was so good. I loved it. That was a great chapter, friends.
So, this was like This was like barely anything in the anime or the light novel. What the fuck? What the
It's
fuck
a
is
sentence.
this?
It's a sentence in the anime.
Where did this come from? And how
I was like,
how do I remove
where is
it?
this place? Where am I?
Teppei, what the fuck?
Like, Subaru before, you know, it was kind of weird, but it was also very funny. And now it's just weird. I feel gross.
It's super
say?
funny. It's super
Yeah.
funny because like not only is Subaru like completely in a state of mind that we've never seen him before ever, like comparatively, but also like you can see like the way that he's writing, and it's just like I don't even think he knew what type of character he wanted Rem and Rem to be at this point. He was just like, I guess they speak at the same time because they're twins, and you know, it's very funny. I think it's. And Subaru's cringe is dialed up to 100%. I wonder if he was trying to play with that really super early, like just make him super embarrassing all the time. I was not expecting that bad though. Yeah.
Why does he do a backflip for no reason?
He was
He's
trying
trying
to
to look
distance
cool.
himself from
He's
the
trying to
situation,
end the
literally.
conversation immediately. So he's thinking, well, this is risky,
What?
but I haven't done this in forever. Is it worth it? Do I try it? Okay.
Also, Amelia the
Yeah.
Savage in this
Goes up.
chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, she goes hard. It's so fun to play this.
Amelia has character in this arc.
She is sassy in the web novel,
In the
and I
web
love
novel.
I love it. I love this.
So
Where
that-
was this?
And that's why I can accept this martyrdom.
I hate how
It
well
is
you
for a
played
worthy cause.
the weird ass incel world. You're doing great, buddy.
I was once weird. I was never an
How is
incel.
your mental state doing, man?
You know, I never was an incel, but I was very weird like this, and I can assure you I was almost exactly like this as a kid.
Mm.
You hate to hear it.
Not-
I guess you play your character well, you
not
know.
in the
It's
gross
like this
way,
role
in
was
the,
made-
in the cringe secondhand embarrassment way.
I can confirm he's not like this no more.
Yeah, he better not be.
It's like this role was made for him.
I was just very confused. Okay, I just wanted to have fun. That was me.
You do cartwheels on the ground randomly.
I once started jumping around a classroom while it was empty in lunch while my friends were sitting down and eating like a kangaroo because I was so bored.
Sounds
Understandable.
like something I would do as well.
Yeah, honestly, I used to. The people I hung out with in middle school would play lions and gazelles, and I was always the gazelle that they would attack. So it's fine. It's cringe.
Oh god.
Nobody
What?
likes that period of time.
Children are weird.
don't
Your
even
dark
know what-
history.
I don't even know what lion and gazelles is, but it sounds
It was
interesting.
stupid. It was just my bullies beating me up and giving a reason for it. That's all it
Yeah,
was.
it sounds like one of those types of games.
I was always the gazelle, damn it! Thanks for listening. to
Gold,
my
you had
TED
said like you don't know if like Tappei really had like a different character plan between like a
Yeah,
Ron and
I don't know
Amelia.
yet.
So he has a little bit of difference between them. Last stream, even like Subaru comments that Rom is a little bit more foul-mouthed than Rem is. But that's also majorly due to that Rem was not part of the story originally.
What?
Yeah, she was not in the original plan for the story at all. So he needed to have someone available to like pull Subaru out of the funk in Arc 3 when he was like planning out the main events of the story to the degree that it lasted as that main plan up until he started Arc
Yeah,
7.
you know, you can tell that Rem wasn't a part of his initial plan, considering he.
My angel!
Mm.
This was a great
look,
idea. 'cause
Fallen
we made
Angel.
A lot of money from her.
That is true. She was the character that probably provoked the most conversation out of the first arc of any other character. So yeah.
Disgusting.
My angel.
Disgusting.
It's as I've been reading through, it's honestly more obvious that Rem is like added in after the fact, because so far, unless you count the fact that she doesn't do this, she's the only character that doesn't have a unique way of talking. That it's
Oh.
tied to the way that Rom speaks.
That's true.
Because
Oh, yeah,
everyone
that-
else, when I'm like translating or reading through it, it's very obvious who's speaking because like Subaru throws in references, Amelia talks more properly and with longer words, Puck has kind of the weird little additions to it, and is usually the one who's talking about a lot of the actual words and terms from ReZero. Beatrice has her 3 phrases that get added to it. Roswell is Roswell, and destroyed the translator apps every single time. I had to manually edit his phrases and then put the extended vowels back in afterwards.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this, by the way, Connor. You went hard on these chapters. And we appreciate you.
They took a lot, honestly. This one especially was a nightmare to go through. I had to get corrected on a mistake I made in this one after getting to chapter, what are we going to, 7 today? Where a term comes back up, and I talked to some friends that I know spent time in Japan on, like, what does this word actually mean? I won't say it on stream, but I thought that when Subaru was saying that he looked like a creeper and that the stuff on his face, I thought it was something else. Because the
staff chat went insane when you posted that.
Because when he says like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the butt of a dirty joke," the literal translation is Subaru stood there looking like an adult entertainer, which is meant to be like a comedian telling dirty jokes, but that doesn't translate correctly.
Pal, for to pay an extra for us an ultimate waifu. That's right, pal. That's right, pal.
And the smiley face in the text, Tappei wrote the word grin for Subaru's dialogue.
What?
He was on something.
Which is why it's his audible expression.
I'm not gonna lie, that was possibly my favorite part of the chapter. When I saw
Yes.
it, I couldn't help but grin. It really helped me get
Smiley face sent me.
Honestly, life changing.
even though it's so silly, it has like honestly so much
Smiley
charm.
face.
Like I'm surprised. I understand why a lot of this was cut, but it's very charming. Not in a good way for Subaru, but in the series as a whole, it's very fun.
To be fair, I vocally say smiley face sometimes, as people know.
Dude,
That
when
is
we
true.
first met, you sent that like every single message. I'm like, oh my god, is he gonna kill me? What the fuck is going on?
Seriously though?
Yeah, I mean, I serial killer vibes. I know, right? Like it still might happen to this very day. You don't know.
Hold on to that for the next 2 chapters, Gold.
Smiley face.
Oh no!
Vivi, I love your Puck so much. It feels like
Aw.
it matches the vibe of the web novel like perfectly.
No, stop! Don't say that.
Okay, now everybody, let's allot 5 minutes to praise Vivi. Let's put on the timer, right?
She's gonna fucking just
I'll
disconnect
cry.
and run.
I'll start crying.
That
run
game
away,
changer
like-
episode where one of the punishments was 5 minutes of uninterrupted
Oh
genuine
no, that
compliments.
was awful.
Oh no.
Alright, friends.
Vivi, you're awesome.
Ah!
Woo!
Let's
Vivi!
go.
Alright, Kyles, do you want to post the next chapter to the chat if you haven't done it already?
Yes, I did. Do you guys want me to send it to you too? I probably should have done that. Who would like
We've lost it from emojis in the general chat, so you might need to.
It disappeared.
Cannon, thank
We're on chapter 500.
Chapter 500. Who would like to be narrator Kun? We can also split it up too, since we have so many people.
Not this one.
I can narrate again. I don't mind.
I'm driving.
Oh.
Gary, hopefully the Discord doesn't glitch on me.
Oh yeah, Kiki, do you want to take a stab at the narrating then, and then?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's fine. I can go get a drink then.
Yeah, Taildy, if
Yay!
you want to do
Rest
the
your
chapter
vocal
after,
cords.
Yeah, I can do the one after this. No problem.
Sweet. Yay. All right. You got this.
All right. All right. Let me get the thing up.
Amazing.
All right. Is everyone ready?
1 second.
Oh, okay.
Also, anyone who doesn't have lines, yes, feel free. Take a break, get some food, get some snacks. You are not stuck here the whole time, especially if you have no lines. If you do have a line, just let us know if you're going away. We'll just cover you real fast.
Okay.
Fun fact for this one, this entire chapter does not exist in the light novel or the anime. It's completely and entirely cut.
What?
hmm
Let's go. We got some cut content. Woo, baby.
Woo! Let's go.
What was this awkward? Was this? Wow. Sorry, Connor. What kind of music should I play for this?
It's incredibly uncomfortably awkward. I think one of the songs is called Fool, right?
Yes, I'll keep playing Fool. I have Appa, Fool, and Fur Craftsman on fucking repeat.
Appa's like the generic, like a just kind of general background one, right?
It's a little goofy.
Okay, that'd be good to switch about halfway through the next chapter.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's still Fool just all the way through.
Fool 24/7 can do. I'm glad I didn't overuse it last one.
Jack of all trades, because this is Roz's introduction, and in the light novel and anime, they swapped that for just a joke of Subaru mistaking him for a hired-on clown.
Oh, that's right. Are you the clown?
Personally, I prefer this a lot more.
I'm excited.
Is everyone ready?
Now, I think I am now, yeah.
Okay, we got Super Amelia good, Roswell good. Are Rem and Ram, we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Woohoo! And Connor was speaking, so I think we're ready as well.
Yes, sorry.
No, that's okay. All right. Kiki, when you're ready.
Okay. Chapter 6. The Lord's Return.
Ah, you are awake. Splendid, splendid.
A tall man with long, dark blue hair joyously exclaimed when he saw Subaru. He was taller than even Reinhard, over 6 feet tall. His body was slim, unsuited for hard work, and he gave off the impression that he was genuinely skinny rather than lithe. He had one blue eye and one yellow one. Combined with his sickly pale skin, he almost looked fragile. If someone were to pass him in the street, they would probably think he was pretty beautiful. However, if they were to look at his beauty up close, it would certainly make him feel a little uncomfortable.
You're way too close!
Sorry. You see, when you were first brought in, there was so much blood I thought you'd surely die. It's deeply moving to see you up and about.
The tall man patted Subaru on both shoulders in a friendly way, and continued to look down at Subaru from too close of a distance. Was the owner of the mansion, Roswell. He looked to be in his mid-20s, and his appearance reminded Subaru of the classic lecherous dumb noble trope.
No. I'm certain that you're sharper than you look.
Ah, what a kind evaluation. Care to take a closer look? Do I look sharp still? Ta-da!
He did a pose in front of Subaru, spun around, and stood like a model for his dress clothes. Subaru was surprised to find that he had involuntarily taken a few steps back due to the man's imposing pose.
No way! I had to step back? You're even more of a cartoon character than I am! You're going to have a hard time going about your daily life like that.
From my point of view, you're in the same boat.
A sigh came from behind Subaru, and Amelia stepped forward to where he had been standing. Facing Roswell, she bowed her head.
Welcome home. Is everything all right?
Stay calm, stay calm. Ah, I'm so happy. It's been 4 days, 3 hours, and 19 minutes since you last approached me. I must record this in my diary.
A pen and notebook were both provided from either side of the tall man. He grabbed them without looking. The twin maids with pink and blue hair both bowed reverently. Using their provided pen and paper, Roswell began to furiously write.
The 15th day of the month of Tammuz, Madame Amelia addressed me herself. Me, Roswell. I'm so glad. At this rate, we may even get to know each other.
Roswell, looking satisfied, closed the book and handed it to a maid behind him. Amelia's smile had suddenly drawn back after she had greeted him.
I seriously doubt that. Creeper much?
Subaru had gotten a glance at the journal, Roswell's diary, when he was holding it, and saw that it was filled to the very brim with writing. It looked like he was in the back half of the book, so if it was filled with the same kind of thing he just wrote, it would be terrifying. Roswell slapped his own leg at Subaru's response, which had apparently been a literal knee slapper.
Creeper! What a word! I've not heard it before, but I love it. The feeling of being misunderstood because you have different sensibilities. Ah, splendid!
Ugh! I don't want to be identified with that! You really thought I'd get along with him?
Subaru waved his arm towards the writhing freak hugging his own shoulders. Amelia pressed her fingers to her lips, clearly feeling confused.
I guess even you aren't a match for a state-sanctioned pervert. Subaru.
You realize that now? You thought I was similar to that? Learn from your mistakes, I guess. That's what they say. It's a real bummer to be thought of in the same way as that wiggly thing. I need to be a lot more careful about what I say and do from now on. Alright, time for a comeback. I should thank you for even being more annoying and for letting me borrow your bed. Yours sincerely, Subaru.
Oh, that was nothing.
Subaru had too arrogant a personality to thank him properly, but Roswell didn't seem to mind, and responded by whistling first. Amelia, standing between them, held her head in her hands. The twins were keeping quiet behind Roswell, and Puck was hiding somewhere in Amelia's silver hair.
Anyways...
Roswell started circling around Subaru in an unpleasant manner, observing his every detail from top to bottom.
You seem like an ordinary human. I'm a little disappointed.
Oh, come on! You think I'm ordinary? That's never said in a positive or negative way. That characterization is insulting. Take that back!
I didn't mean to offend you.
Subaru didn't accept that and looked at Roswell defiantly. He felt Roswell had crossed a line. At that, Roswell waved his hand and apologized.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant regarding your race. I've a known fetish for demi-humans. I'm the perverted nobleman, you see.
You're pretty oneific to be able to admit that about yourself. Oh man. I hate that I'm starting to like you!
Roswell looked amused at Subaru, who had grabbed his head with both hands. Roswell then grabbed the shoulders of the maids on either side of him and pulled them into a hug.
It's why I have these two children, and the reason I'm supporting Madame Amelia. You are here because you feel the same way, no?
Roswell began to give off a fairly disturbing atmosphere as he started stroking the chins of the twins he was hugging. That treatment from Roswell dyed their cheeks red, as if they were under the influence of his venom. Subaru turned his gaze to Amelia, who, perhaps sensing what he was thinking, rapidly waved her hands.
Don't get the wrong idea. I'm absolutely not attracted to perverts. I'm not weird like that.
So, you prefer normal guys? Then, rest assured, once I graduate high school, I'll go to college, and then I'll become a salaryman to provide for my family!
Subaru felt ready to turn over a new leaf when thinking about his new life plan. However, he stopped when he remembered that most working fathers claim they had a very difficult life. His considerations were interrupted when he remembered something Roswell just said.
By the way, what did you mean when you said you were supporting Amelia? What exactly is the relationship between you two?
Oh my, you aren't aware of what's been going on?
Roswell released the twins and swiftly walked over to Subaru with his hands clasped behind his back. Once again, the towering figure was looking down at him from too closely, but this time, Subaru did not back away and met his gaze. Their locked gaze was not one that would clash and generate sparks, but rather a mutual state, both genuinely searching for the other's intention. Subaru wanted to look away from the sickly figure, but if he did, he'd be admitting defeat, and that too was just as annoying. Subaru was prepared to fight back with all of his might against the stare that seemed to see straight through him.
He stares harder at me, and the distance between us gradually closes. I can't lose! I can't lose!
Feeling invigorated, he put all of his strength into his eyes, glaring, glaring, glaring. The unwavering tall man had pecked Subaru's forehead, and Subaru had uppercut him without a second thought. The large figure was blown away by the attack, and the twins hurriedly moved to catch the falling body. Subaru, meanwhile, was too distracted trying to rub the smooch off his forehead. He didn't even see the result of his attack.
What the hell was that about?
Ah! Ouch! Ouch! Oh, you see, you were looking at me with such innocent eyes. You appear to be a trembling maiden. I was so horny. I couldn't help myself.
I can feel my asshole tightening already. You better watch out! I'm serious!
His forehead felt like it was burning, so he turned his rubbing hand into a fist. Then he went to approach Roswell, but was intercepted by the twins, who had hostility in their eyes. As one would expect of someone when their master had been attacked, the twins had no intention of laughing about that.
Stop it, stop it. Ram and Rem, that was my fault for such a horrid joke. The only thing he's to blame for was looking too much like a young maiden.
Your eyesight must be failing you, sir. If you looked at me and saw a maiden, I may have been pretty as a flower before kindergarten, but I've grown into a man with a bald spot on my head's back.
The solution his parents had given him back then, when he was often mistaken for a girl and hated it when it happened, was to give him a buzz cut. He had cried when they did, but nowadays, he couldn't calm down if the back of his head wasn't rough to the touch.
My parents sure did rub off on me. I never listened, just like my mum, and I have my dad's self-assertiveness.
The twins backed down at their lord's interception, though they were clearly unsatisfied. Roswell then stood back up, slightly rubbing his bruised chin. Sorry.
I apologize for that. It was my fault, as I said. As a token of my apology, why don't you join us for breakfast? My treat.
I should warn you, I'm not working for it. If it's free, though, count me in.
Oh, good. Eating well leads to living well. That was a good one. I'll have to write it down in my journal.
The twins handed Roswell his notebook and a pen, and he began to write down what he had said. It appeared the book's contents were not all bizarre writings like an Amelia love book.
Writing about your daily life is not like collecting poems. I feel like I'll be in agony when I read them back later, but I'd never remember them all at this age.
Ignorance is bliss, huh?
Subaru convinced himself of this and responded to the breakfast invitation.
Anyway, I'd be happy to join you for breakfast. I haven't eaten anything since yesterday before noon, let alone this morning.
Splendid! I'll let the two of you show him the way. Ram, Rem, if you would.
Leave it to us, Master Roswell.
The twins responded in stereo, having both grabbed Subaru. They each took charge of one arm and held it tightly.
Oh, come on! What's with the escort? You don't have to do that! I'm not going anywhere, and neither is the dining table. Hey! Hey! That hurts!
Please allow us to show you the way, dear guest.
The two of us will show you the way, dear guest.
Hey! That's not how you treat an elbow! You're going to... You haven't forgiven me for the uppercut, have you? But that was his fault, not mine! He even admitted it! Hey! Elbow! Elbow! Hey, both of you! Don't put so much pressure on that side!
Subaru continued to make a fuss about his joints as he was taken to the dining table. Amelia looked at him with eyes full of pity until the three of them were out of sight.
So, how did everything really go, Madame Amelia?
He didn't change the way he was speaking, but the atmosphere had changed, nonetheless. Amelia wasn't surprised, though.
I agree with your observations. Puck does too, right?
Hearing Amelia ask for his confirmation, the cat peeked his face out of him from her silver hair and nodded. Satisfied with their conclusions, Amelia narrowed her eyes and clutched her chest, feeling guilty.
I doubted even the one who rescued me. I must be a terrible person. And that was Chapter 6.
Excuse
That was a
me?
total normal chapter.
That was absolute
most
hell. I'm
normal.
so
I
sorry.
saw nothing out of
I
place.
hate that.
That was cut content, I understand. I understand now.
Now, can I just say, Gold? Your performance was fucking spot on, and I hate that it was.
Yeah, fuck you for being
Thank you.
spot on. That was
Thank you.
I love it
Why
so
was the
much.
grossest line the one you did best, by the way? I hate you.
I don't know. It just came from the heart, you know. The best type of acting is when you barely have to act.
Oh my god. Ain't no way. Ain't no
I'd like to
way.
resign.
Too much method acting in this room.
And then I'm gonna get, canceled on Twitter.com. Who knows?
There's been so much shade on this chapter thrown on the fact that Subaru looks like a girl in certain lights. Like, just like the amount of. It is weird how much foreshadowing there is, even in these really weird, uncomfortable moments. I'm so confused.
Think about Wolf.
And also, I will say, I can't believe I like this better as an introduction for Oswald.
Yeah, it's been wild.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely horrific, but it's so much more
But
entertaining.
it makes him have one more personality, and two, in the anime and light novel, when they say he's a pervert and it's just because he dresses like a clown, I'm like, you think that's perversion? this is
very-
perversion.
This is a lot to handle.
I didn't actually know that he said anything like this ever, because usually you see him very prim and proper, and I'm like, okay, he calls him pervert. I don't know why. I guess it's background information, but this is, it lines up a bit better. I mean, even though we know more about Roswell in general, so this could be a farce anyways. But even then, it's still kind of interesting that this is how he presents himself.
That was a perfect introduction, though. I've never seen a better anime introduction.
But I really like this because at the end it clearly shows that all of that was an act.
Yeah,
That's just Roswell's face to the public, just because he probably wants less people to take him less seriously. So
goddamn calculated. Scarier.
Yeah, it's as he says. I'm the perverted nobleman. You see, it's
He's
just
literally-
it's a character.
He's literally calling out the fact that he's playing a character.
I feel like half of it's a character and half of it he's actually this horny, and I hate it.
I mean, he definitely has a thing for demi-humans. I don't
Well,
think
when
that's
you
a
look at
lie.
the way that he heals Ram, you get a sense.
Oh god.
That makes more sense now. I'm just
Ew.
saying.
There's also a bit of a foreshadowed hint there about Ram and Ram's identities too.
That's true. I was just so oblivious to that because I already knew, but yeah, I guess when you're just reading that, you're like, hold up. I thought they were human.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Alright. Are we
I,
ready? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I needed just a minute after that one though.
We'll take a minute to decompress.
Oh,
Holy shit,
God.
this is horny. How did Amelia not know how babies were made? What the fuck? That's a plot hole. If there's any plot hole at ReZero, it's that.
You see this chat. No, the plot hole is this. You see the way Roswell is saying oh my god, she's talking to me. he never was horny towards her. That was the thing.
I guess that's true. But she knows these terms. Maybe I
I
guess.
very much assume that Puck has told her what a term like this in passing, and she's just applied it.
I guess that's true. I guess.
She's oblivious to it, you know.
Whoosh.
It just
right over her
flies
head.
completely over her head.
You know what? I don't know why I'm questioning this. This is exactly how I used to react when I didn't know what that stuff was either. So
Exactly. You hear these words and you're like, I don't know what that means, but people are saying it.
Yeah, you run along with it.
You just run. Okay. God damn. The first translator. knows.
I think my least favorite Subaru line ever is in this chapter, by the way. The one where he's like, I can feel my my whole.
Oh
my
no!
asshole's clenched?
The
Yeah.
next one
Did
is
you have
gonna
to
be
say it
also
like
bad.
that?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Awkward.
I had to write it like that. It's how it's written.
The amount of times we had to like run away from cackling. Wolf literally like flew across the room when he read what him and Gold were gonna read.
I didn't even see that. I didn't pre-read this. I was like, I didn't realize I was gonna be saying that.
I only read like
What
2
did they read?
sentences ahead on occasion, and that was the one time I did, and I went, "Ha!"
And this is why you guys have to sign up for a membership, because who else does this type of thing?
Who else?
If you like a wolf cracking and breaking character,
Yeah, he will
you'll
do
like the
more
stream as
cracking
well.
and breaking character in the latest chapters of our Arc 5 live read.
I'm half debating recording us and putting it on like Patreon for people to see as like a quick reel. See how I voice act?
That's
This
true.
is
You could do the
stuff to
entire
shit.
uncut like script and just put it up, and it would be kind of funny.
You could
Everybody-
get little cuts of it as well and put it as like shorts or on TikTok or
Oh,
something.
that'd be
too.
good.
Oh. Okay.
I
Or
don't
just
know.
leave the recording and script it out later.
I don't know why, but I feel like if there's gonna be any animanic for a chapter we've had so far, it would definitely be the one we've just done, because the amount of chaos you could do.
Please, no one get Willow for that.
Oh
no,
man.
no.
No.
I will say, hold your reservations for the worst Subaru line, and that's the most deserving of an animatic for one more chapter.
Yeah.
Oh,
for real?
fuck.
Oh,
Well,
and I
if
get to
then you can
narrate. Yay!
Look at the first translator's note I have on chapter.
Oh, I see it. I
No,
saw
no, no!
it.
Don't look at it.
people-
Let it be a surprise.
People have been telling me in the staff general chat that it's bad. I'm not. No.
We believe in you.
I'm not like this, I promise! This isn't me!
God. Who is this person? I don't know.
I don't know him.
It just comes out of me. I don't know.
Roswell, shut up!
Who am I?
Who are you?
Who am I?
Were you
Ever
saying
since
something,
400
Andrew?
years ago, I've been broken.
Were you saying something, Andrew?
No.
Okay. I love that he has the journal too, especially based on what we know about him later.
Yes.
It makes a ton of sense that he does this, even if it is just played for a bit. And Gold, I literally also had to walk away cracking up laughing when you did the
Also,
line. Perfect.
I will just say there was a really cool kind of like line of dialogue from Roswell where he talks about like Subaru wanting to help Amelia, despite the fact no one has stated that yet, which I think hints more towards the fact that he knows more than what's going on here.
Well, he even gets excited when he's in the situation, and he's like, I have to calm down. And I wonder if that's not because it's actually. I know for a fact that's because he already knows who Subaru is.
Maybe he
Oh
thinks
no, that's towards Amelia. I
is
split the
it?
line because
Oh.
it's meant to be different, but she comes up to him, says like, "Welcome home, Roswell.
Oh, I
is
see what
everything
you
all right?"
mean.
It's like,
Yeah, now he's
"Oh,
like-
calm down, calm
Yeah.
down. Amelia approached me. Stay calm."
Which is odd because you know how little he thinks of Amelia. Yeah.
Mhm. There's also a couple other, like, weird things that have come up a few times here that are related to like Japanese phrases and philosophies that have been in this chapter and the last one. Like last time he was quoting something different on like a famous Japanese philosophical question of like, is it better to take the easy path and live a happy life, or to make yourself better by walking the rocky road? But it doesn't, just saying like I walked the rocky road does not give the same impression in English.
Hmm.
So there's a famous Robert Frost poem that kind of gives the same impression that I swapped for him for that. And in this past one, it's like some bizarre phrase that's like a flower in a flower field is not upset about being in a flower field.
I suppose it's not.
Yeah, it's just vibing.
Which I had no idea what it meant, and ended up finding an answer that someone else was asking what this means on a Japanese Yahoo Answers forum. Where it's like, oh yeah, people are just happy when they don't know any better. They just enjoy being stupid.
So
Which
it's just a
thankfully,
very
yeah.
complicated version of ignorance is bliss.
Yes,
Yeah.
which I was grateful to find there was a immediate line switch for that.
Are we all nearly recovered, or do we need another few years for that one?
I'm
and
good
everybody,
whenever.
we're going on another break. See you in a few months.
Kiki, for this next one,
Yes.
because you're probably more used to playing Beatrice in Arc 5 when she's had some chance to grow and is like a year with past at this point.
Mhm.
She is much more like sounding like a pouting little girl here.
All right. I think I'm gonna lower my leg because I see one line that I'm probably gonna get really high for, and I don't want to break anyone's eardrums.
Thank you. Your mercy is appreciated.
I made some judgment calls for nicknames this chapter too. If they don't work, we can switch them up for next time. But these are like the most
Okay.
appropriate ones I could find.
Amazing. Alright. Wolfie and I are actually going to record our faces for this one while we do it.
Okay.
So, there we go.
Oh,
why?
God.
Why is it this
Supplementary
chapter?
content.
Why is this chapter of all chapter the ones we decide to do this
I
on?
feel
Huh?
like it's very important. I feel like this.
I promise
Anything
you,
for
The
the
this is the one
authentic
to do it.
raw reaction
The
is
words that are
gold.
gonna be coming
you can't,
out of this
you can't
character's
recreate
mouth.
that.
People are gonna see me physically say that.
You're gonna see him emote while he's voice acting for the very first
We'll
time.
have this on top, and we'll have the other voice. I promise. I'm not going to cancel you.
No, I'm cancelling myself.
I'm your manager. It's fine.
I'm leading the charge. I'm the one canceling me.
Exactly. Alright.
This is one of your oaths of the contract,
This is your oath.
Subaru.
Yay.
Yay, I suppose.
Oh, it's the saddest yay possible.
I'm kidding.
Alright.
Yay.
I gave you guys chapter 7. Yes. Yes, I did.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we're done with synced dialogue, I hope.
I hope so too. I think so as well.
suppose.
Even if those last ones are perfect. You guys did really good.
I'm terrified to listen to this back in the coming weeks.
Thank you for tagging all the parts, by the way. I will be cutting them up as soon as I can. There's just been a couple of things coming up. Also, before we start, is this more goofy music? I could do for a craftsman for this one. It's a little more. It's still goofy, but it's a little more like fancy goofy.
Fancy Goofy's probably good for the point where everyone else comes in, but when it's just Betty and Subaru here at the start, then it's best to just go as comedic as possible.
Oh, beautiful.
Can I just say, just reading the first 2 lines, I'm really excited to voice act Rikiki again, but also, Subaru does a single Chad thing for the first thing in a couple chapters. He does the thing that not many anime protagonists are willing to say, and I'm excited.
In a couple of chapters?
Yes. Like, the line that makes me think, oh yeah, Subaru isn't totally degen.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Alright.
That might be like 14.
We all ready?
Everyone
back as
recovered
well.
sufficiently?
Ready as I'll ever be.
I went to it. I'm back.
Yay! Let's go! Okay.
All right. Arc 2, Chapter 7. Around the table at Roswell Manor.
Watching you from above was insightful, in fact. You must be insane, I suppose.
That was said to Subaru by the curly-haired girl in lieu of a greeting. She was already seated at the dining table where breakfast was to be held when Subaru was ushered in. He rubbed his sore elbows and responded,
Oh, what the hell kind of greeting is that, you damned lolly?
What does that word mean, I wonder? Betty has never heard of it, but it feels extremely offensive, in fact.
It means you're too young to romantically pursue. I don't have a thing for kids.
It's rather pitiful that you can spew just... It's rather pitiful that you can spew such crude things towards Betty.
With a look of pity on her face, the girl leaned back into her chair and sighed. She grabbed a glass from the table and slurped down an amber liquid. Subaru wondered if it was alcohol. She gave a knowing smile towards his suspicious look and turned the glass towards him.
You probably would like a drink, I suppose?
Oh, but wouldn't that be an indirect kiss? Isn't it too early for that event?
Betty tried to tease you out of spite, but you were too immature to understand, I suppose. Now Betty is being shamed, in fact.
She was angrily yelling at Subaru, who was shaming her by crossing two fingers like an X in her direction. At the time, they were the only two in the dining room, and so could sit wherever they liked. The room was quite big and contained a large dining table covered in a white cloth. Nearly 10 chairs were lined up along the sides of the table, starting from the head seat in the back of the room. It was likely that the closer to the front of the room, the lower your status was. Several of the seats already had a place setting with dishes, so one was likely for Subaru. He suspected that one of the lower status seats was the most likely choice.
But I'm feeling daring, and so I will sit in one of the high status seats.
That is a terrible choice, in fact. You do understand that, I wonder.
I bet this is where Amelia Tan usually sits. I'm getting a little aroused thinking about how my ass and hers are having an indirect sit-down right now.
That is a whole new level of perversion, I suppose. It's not just gross, it's sinful, in fact.
There were many things he wanted to talk about, but teasing the little girl, who acted like the straight man, had been worth it. It may have been against his better judgment, but he had really wanted to see a reaction to a surprisingly perverted action.
Don't worry, I don't really mean anything by that. Or this.
That laugh makes that sound unconvincing, in fact. This conversation is pointless, I suppose.
The little girl shook her head and held her forehead, while Subaru rubbed his butt against the chair, heating it up with pure friction.
You know, it was pretty rude to drain me like that before. You realise I was already struggling with blood loss?
Remembering his utter defeat against her from before when she knocked him unconscious, Subaru angrily shook his hands at the girl. He suddenly strained his neck forward.
I've just realised just how often I've lost consciousness in the past 2 days. I think I've been cold out. I've been out cold more than I've been awake. I may as well still be a shut-in!
Technically, he hadn't been nearly as lazy as then, though. The little girl looked at Subaru, who was still straining his neck, and held back a yawn.
Mana was spilling out of your gate, in fact. It would have gone to waste if Betty didn't drink it up, I suppose. You should be grateful, I suppose.
It's not... It's your fault it was leaking like that. You poked a hole in my tank and expect me to be grateful for it.
She avoided his question by loudly slurping from her cup. Subaru lost the energy to attack her after seeing a child drinking so openly.
It's a pretty sad commentary on this world if little girls drinking is a common sight. Then, the little girl discovered the thrills of the night, threw her money around, and wound up a teen bride. Bro, I'm in tears just thinking about it.
Betty has no desire to be the heroine in your grand tragedy, in fact.
Nah, more like the protag of a bad cell phone novel.
At one point in his life, Subaru had read quite a few of them to pass the time, until it became too hard to find the hits amongst the misses. That was around the time he started learning girl emoji. The girl tapped her fingers lightly on the table, scowling. It seemed she didn't understand the meaning of what Subaru said.
Well, that's fine, I suppose. Regardless, you should be thanking Betty, I suppose.
Thank you for your triple value lolly abuse? This isn't deserving of a reward where I'm from. It shouldn't be anywhere.
You shouldn't be the angry one, I suppose. It's Betty who wants to get angry, in fact. Who was it that saved you from dying?
What?
The girl's voice trailed off, and before she could answer Subaru, the door to the dining room opened.
Please pardon us, dear guest. I'm here to serve food for everyone.
Excuse us, dear guest. I'm here to finish the place settings and serve tea.
The twin maids entered the room, each pushing a cart. The blue-haired one's cart held some traditional breakfast, including salad and bread, while the pink-haired ones held dishes, forks, and other tableware. The two split up toward either side of the table and began serving the food in a brisk manner. The warm aroma of it made Subaru's stomach start to rumble.
Oh, good. Phew. Such a nice table. I don't know what I would do if I ended up lined with grotesque food from another world.
He had been considering that. Despite the dressings of the table, he could have ended up resorting to having insects be his staple food in this other world. If he did that, he'd have no choice but to break free from the shackles of society and live in the wilderness.
I really can't stand bugs. Why do they even exist? They're shaped so weirdly. I don't understand how they live. Do you think they only exist for babies to kill them in order to learn the value of life?
If you oppress the weak, you will end up oppressed the same way by someone who sees you as a weakling, I suppose. That's an important lesson, in fact. Will you ever be quiet, I wonder?
She seemed to have decided to play the role of a graceful little girl who quietly sips from her glass. Subaru wasn't pleased with the elegance of her response, and was even less pleased when he remembered he was hungry.
I need food soon!
That wasn't elegant, in fact. You should wait more gracefully and with elegance, I suppose.
I don't want to hear that from a little girl who already drinks. Can I see your ID, Missy?
The little girl was not amused by Subaru's impoliteness as he took his knife and fork and crossed them together, shaming her once again. She set down her glass on the table, and the space around the hand that was holding it began to distort. She started to point at Subaru.
Ah, you are getting along well, aren't you? Splendid, splendid!
The resident pervert had spoken up suddenly, adorned with a smiling face. His attire had changed from his going-out clothes, and he was now looking completely different from the formal look he had a few minutes prior. He was now in a large, ghastly-looking, colorful outfit. His clown-like face and eccentric attitude had not changed, though. The result was a certifiable pervert. Roswell looked happily at Subaru, who was impatiently playing a beat on the table with his silverware. And then he raised an eyebrow at the girl, who resumed sipping her glass.
Beatrice, how unusual for you to be here. It's been a long time since we had the pleasure of sitting around the table together.
There is only one boy who can make Betty happy, in fact. Betty showed up only to have dinner with Bubby, I suppose.
The girl, Beatrice, moved her gaze past Roswell, cutting him off from responding. Her target was the girl, Amelia. More specifically, it was her silver hair.
Bubby!
Beatrice bounced off her seat in excitement, running and causing her long skirt to flap. Her face had been filled with a blooming smile and a charm that made Subaru forget his previous assessment of the girl's sassiness. She had finally begun to behave in a way that was befitting of her appearance. The gray cat, who was buried in Amelia's silver hair, responded to the little girl's call in a much more relaxed tone.
Hey, Betty, what's it been? 2 days now? Have you been good and ladylike?
Betty has been looking forward to seeing you, Bubby, in fact. You aren't going anywhere today, right, I wonder?
Nope, you're good. I'd like to take it easy today, for once.
Yay, in fact! Hey.
Slipped out of Amelia's silver hair and landed in Beatrice's palm. She spun around with the tiny cat in her arms as soon as he did. Subaru was quite surprised by the cheerful relationship the two seemed to have. Amelia walked up beside Subaru with a wry smile on her own face, as the two both looked at how Beatrice was all over Puck.
You must be surprised. Beatrice adores Puck.
Definitely surprised. What's with the lolly's mood swing? Is she trying to outcat the actual cat?
Sorry, but I don't understand what that means at all.
After saying that, Amelia turned towards Subaru and tilted her head. She pointed a puzzled look at Subaru, who she saw was sitting in the seat of honor. She raised her hand and pointed towards him.
You're sitting in...
Oh! Right! It's just that a cold seat makes a cold heart, you know? I'm on a campaign to blanket your heart from the cold. That's why I was warming up your seat. It's not like I was trying to have an indirect sit-down or anything.
Sorry, but I don't know what that word meant either. Aren't you in Roswell's seat?
Subaru had stood up, but upon hearing such damning words, he felt his knees collapse. He gritted his teeth upon understanding his mistake.
It makes sense that the head of the household would sit in the seat of honor. I was blinded trying to get instant results for the little girl. I should have known better. Rookie of the year over here. Oh well, I'm the type of guy who won't give up, even if I fall. I bet I'll get it right tomorrow.
I'd rather you didn't try to take my seat. That sounds kind of annoying.
God is dead!
Subaru fell back against the ground, teary-eyed. He was devastated, believing there was no hope left for the world. There was no future. Then, somebody tapped him on the shoulder. Subaru slowly lifted his head from the ground, feeling a sense of relief and warmth emanating from their palm over his shoulder. Maybe there was hope after all.
I'll enjoy your warmth.
Hearing the man say that so gently, Subaru spit onto the chair without a moment's hesitation.
I had to do that so my excess ass heat wouldn't be sullied.
Oh my. Surprisingly, no hesitation. Splendid. Now then, ha!
Roswell had held up a finger and pointed at the chair. When he spotted the spit, his finger lit up and he let out a single aggressive laugh. Right in front of Subaru's eyes, the spit vanished. Subaru instinctively reached out to touch the chair, unable to believe what he just saw. He couldn't even feel a trace of the liquid left. In its place was only a slightly heated chair. The warmth and missing spit led Subaru to only one conclusion.
It evaporated?
Roswell whistled at Subaru in admiration and responded.
Ah, you understood. Just then, I applied a very small amount of fire mana to instantly raise the seat's temperature.
How the hell can you say that like it's a normal thing? Aren't you just some run-of-the-mill pervert?
I'm afraid not. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong person. I was like, oh, yeah, back and forth.
I mean,
Clear your throat, Amelia.
Sorry, Roswell. I am afraid not. He happens to be the Kingdom of Lagunica's top court magician.
Subaru struggled to rationalize what she said in his head. He looked at Roswell and mumbled in a bit of disbelief.
Magician?
Roswell looked back at him and met his gaze with a pose. Then he spun around without anyone asking. Subaru again tried to rationalize the word he just said with the appearance of the man before him.
You look like you don't believe me.
That's not true! I believe you! I do! I believe you now! I mean, I believed you!
It's fine if you don't. I wasn't going to press the issue.
Amelia had thrown out her attempt at convincing Subaru at the first opportunity. She must have learned in her brief time with Subaru that the only way to lessen his unintelligible enthusiasm is to try not to engage with him. Subaru, who was awakening to yet another new pleasure from being neglected, watched as Amelia sat in a chair in a different spot than the seat of honor.
So that's where she sits.
Suspecting that there wouldn't be any others joining them at the dining table, Subaru guessed that the last remaining seat not occupied by Beatrice or Amelia, and was not the seat of honor, would be his. It was halfway down the table from the seat of honor, and slightly away from Amelia.
Where's the fun in that?
Subaru muttered this, and gathered up the dishes from the seat he had been assigned. He started to move around the table, causing the dishes to make clinking noises. His destination was Amelia.
Hold on
Trust Teddy?
Who?
Amelia looked puzzled at Subaru, who had moved his tableware beside hers. Subaru, ignoring her response, then moved his salad and bread over as well. He had managed to take the seat next to her.
That's better. Why eat apart when we can eat together? That way, if you don't like your vegetables, you can just go ahead and put them on my plate.
Oh, well then, are green peppers... Wait, no, that's bad manners.
You're missing the point of manners if you worry about them more than enjoying your meal. Either way, it's a fact that eating next to a girl makes it taste better. Ain't that right, Rosie?
Subaru smiled at Amelia, who had pushed the bright green pepper-like vegetables to the side of her plate, but then turned his attention to Roswell. He smiled at Subaru, interested by what he had been named, and pointed at himself.
By any chance, were you referring to me?
Who else? Rosie. That sounds right. It fits you.
Roswell laughed after seeing Subaru nod in affirmation. Then he turned to address an astonished Amelia.
Now, Madame Amelia. Courtesy is important, yes, but you can't enjoy your meal if you worry about it too much when you're only with your friends and family. He's right as well.
The decision had been made by the head of the mansion. Amelia just sighed, and Rem and Rem, who had been waiting to do so, began to bring in steaming meals. They were laid out on the table, and after a small while, the breakfast table had been set.
Now, time to eat. O trees, O wind, O stars, O Mother Earth.
Holding his hands and closing his eyes, Roswell began to mutter something. Amelia and the twins followed suit. Beatrice, who had returned to her seat, just closed her eyes. Subaru, realizing that this was a pre-meal prayer, hurriedly imitated their gesture.
It's kinda surprising that Christian-like prayers are common, even in another world.
From the way they were praying, it appeared that Amelia and Roswell were unexpectedly religious. The twins also appeared to be well versed in religious etiquette. Beatrice, on the other hand, was being unsurprisingly careless about it.
Now then, Subaru, please try it. She may not look it, but Rem is a fine cook, isn't she?
At Roswell's recommendation, and once the prayer had ended, Subaru quickly joined the meal. It looked like breakfast consisted of a salad and a toast-like dish with something resembling ham on top of a bread-like substance. It vaguely resembled a typical Western breakfast. Subaru was relieved to see there was nothing unusual about any of it when he took a closer look. Thankfully, no ingredients beyond human knowledge had been added, so Subaru took a bite of the toast-like food.
Better than normal. Yum.
After his dignified response, Subaru looked up to see the blue-haired maid, still standing by the table, making a little fox head with her fingers. He didn't know what it meant. Perhaps it was something similar to a V for Victory sign in this world. Subaru responded by making a frog with both his hands.
This was made by the blue-haired one. Rem, right? You made it?
Yes, that's correct, dear guest. Rem is in charge of maintaining the standard of our table. Sister isn't very good at it.
Aha! So it's one of those times where twins don't have different skill sets. So, if the pink-haired one is bad at cooking, is she good at cleaning then?
Yes, that's correct. Sister is good at household chores such as cleaning and laundry.
So, Remrin, you're good at cooking, but not so great at cleaning and laundry?
No, Rem is good at basically all household chores, including cleaning and laundry. More so than sister.
Then what's the point of Pink Hair even being here?
One twin was good at all household chores. The other twin was good at cleaning and laundry, but not as much as her sister. This was a never-before-seen trope for Subaru. It wasn't much of a compliment, but Ram, who was near Rem, didn't seem particularly bothered by that. Since she didn't refute it, Subaru believed it must be true.
She didn't say anything to refute that, so it must be true. But then, what's with her attitude? There must be different types. Rami is a combat maid then. No, wait, she has the night shift. Oh man, I'm going to request so many things tonight.
Sister, you're being criticized by our dear guest.
Being made a fool of by the dear guest.
The twins put their hands on each other in a tragic fashion in response to Subaru's delusional beliefs about the pink one. Roswell laughed watching their exchange.
That was kind of you, my boy. Rom and Rem have quite strong personalities, so people tend to avoid them after meeting them for the first time.
How can anyone be bothered by the maid's flaws when their master has so many more? Besides, it's a fantasy world, so I'll forgive pretty much anything.
There's no doubt she's capable. There are a lot of people who don't see it.
It was Amelia who had interjected. She took a small mouthful of soup and continued in an unhappy voice.
In fact, both of them are amazing. They handle this huge mansion all on their own. Thinking they're not the same race? How dumb.
You feel pretty strongly about these things, huh?
Subaru noticed that first from the look of righteous indignation in her eyes, but then something else she said caught his attention.
Wait! Did Amelia Tan just say that these two are the only two servants in the mansion?
At this point in time, yes. Only Ram and Rem remain here.
You don't think having two people care for this huge mansion is pretty stupid? Two people alone would die from overwork before they'd be able to maintain this quality. What? Is there some restriction that said you can't hire more?
At Subaru's question, Roswell went silent and folded his hands onto the table. A smile remained covering his face, but the emotion in his eyes clearly changed. Subaru could recognize when a flag was being raised, so he bit into an appa he had been saving for dessert. The delicious fruit filled his mouth with a gentle sweetness.
And that is the chapter.
That's a chapter.
Don't call me boy, Roswell.
Subi boy.
This felt like a fever dream.
Honestly.
Jesus.
Freaking tell me about it.
So, can we universally decree that Subaru should be executed by the state? Any objections?
Mhm.
Yes.
No
Nine.
objection.
Yes, please.
I'll do it myself if I have to.
By common consensus?
Oh god.
That's true, it doesn't matter. We can't really do much about it. You'll just come back.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Oh, we won't know that, so.
Maybe then he won't make the mistake of saying those words.
Ooh,
And doing those things. That chair did not deserve any of what happened to it.
The worst thing was I got so in character for it and I hated every fucking second.
He literally dropped to his
Oh,
knees.
you're slaying
Oh
it.
my god.
Jail.
You are too good for your own sake, man.
And now we have it on video too.
We do.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Have a fun time with that one.
Yeah, at least
Not in 4K.
too bad it wasn't the one before. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Literally all it is just me physically acting out and stimming when I'm not. That's it.
Honestly, that's such a vibe.
And
The P arc will live on in our memories, where it deserves to stay.
The P arc is the only part of all the cringe so far that will live on.
I'll make sure of that one.
We got a P arc, we got a indirect Asshole kiss arc.
We got hand
Oh,
Asshole
no.
kiss? I'm sorry, that's how you chose to phrase it?
I mean, it is what it is.
An indirect sit, apparently.
This
Yeah.
makes the Roswell bath scene in
Oh my God, I
season
realized
1
Oh
so
my
much more understandable.
I'm so excited to voice act that one.
Hold on. I'd like to circle back. Wolfie, Wolfie, do you think that people put their assholes on chairs when they sit down on them?
What?
Like,
Well,
Wait, they don't?
I'm just saying.
Wait, have I learned this wrong the entire time?
Do you know how often I try not to overly think these things? You just hope people are wearing enough layers, you know? Whenever I sit on the bus, every time I sit on the bus, I am just hopeful
no.
that everyone who wears a skirt is wearing everything.
Oh,
And I try not to think about it on my way.
No, no.
Outside clothes never touch anywhere I like to sit. Never.
Oh no, Kyles, what did you make me think of?
I'm sorry.
You just gave me a new anxiety.
I'm sorry. That's why I don't go outside.
And then you become a germaphobe.
Welcome.
I just
And thanks for listening to these chapters. Hey, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, hey.
I'd just like to say, you guys all did an amazing job.
Oh,
Kiki,
yeah.
We full sent it.
Kiki, it was amazing to VA with you again. You did such a good job. Betty is exactly
I know you
the
did
same.
so good.
Man.
That
You see what
Bobby line.
I had to mute myself because I had to hold back from laughing.
It was so
You
cute.
were so excited. It was so cute.
Your mic hit it so perfectly. There was no glitches in your audio.
Okay, cool. I was worried that I might have hurt someone's eardrums because I should have put in a headphone.
No, it was good.
Yeah, it
It was
felt
good,
so
yeah.
good to hear.
Everybody did so
Yeah.
great this chapter reading. Thank
Let's
you all.
go.
Great job.
I'd
Great
argue-
job.
I'd argue Gold did too good, if that's possible.
Yeah, tone
I mean,
it.
I full sent it, you know.
You
I'm
full
sorry for
sent
what I
it.
wrote.
Kiki, where did you get that photo of me? That's a little unfortunate.
You could have convinced me that was a
yesterday,
picture of
actually.
you.
Oh my god. Those
I
you
kind of
have
want to do an
to
emote of
trace.
Beatrice and doing that.
For reference, chat, Kiki just posted a cosplayer in an aqua costume drinking a bottle of wine, and it scarily looks like me.
It really does.
I think
Oh,
they also
God.
have an energy drink in hand too. I love that.
Chugging
Ooh.
it down.
We love that for them.
It's perfect.
Oh, that's not wine. I think that's sake.
Oh god, that's worse.
Yeah, I think that's just a bottle of sake.
That is worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say the writing on it. That's sake.
I mean, sake and wine are kind of the same thing, but obtained from different products.
Yeah,
True. Sake is more likely to mess you up a little faster.
it's the
Goes
sneaky
down
mess up.
Sneaky Mess Up is a wonderful title.
Goddamn, why is
Just
everyone out here?
It's accurate. You'll be sitting there sipping on. It's like, oh, you know, this isn't doing anything. I feel fine. And then you stand up. You're like, oh, hi, friend.
I'm not fine.
the Sneaky Mess Up
Yeah,
sounds
your
like
drum
the
is
title to a
mine.
Scooby-Doo episode.
Oh yes.
Or like the Scooby Doo Kids, that old
Mhm.
series when they were like the sneaky mess up.
I'm sorry, I hated that series.
No.
No.
Also,
I don't know, it just didn't follow to me.
I just saw Gold message in the chat. This is right. I guess time for a bit of a plug. If you are a member, you have early access to Liliana chapters. I will be editing the next chapter for our members sometime this week, hopefully starting tomorrow. And we should be getting the rest of the chapters done this week. We got to record chapter 66 for Liliana. And I have to do all the narration for the next few chapters as well. So that'll be done as I'm editing. And our new Priscilla, we will introduce her when she does her commercial that I'm going to send her that Gold wrote like months ago. And we'll introduce her then. We are still doing our little commercials. We may have several commercials made for the Liliana chapters just to give us a break in between because that's a lot of Wolfiana. And so, by the way, everybody here in the Discord call, we will be making commercials. If you have any ideas for little commercials between the chapters, feel free to drop those ideas in our chat. We can work on them a bit after the stream. But we can do all the scripting for you if you don't want to. But we will be calling you guys up for some little character commercial things. Yeah. Hopefully that.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. That was a great update.
Thanks. You're welcome. I've been
I
a
think
little
mine's
busy
already
this week.
in.
Was everyone's general vibe for these 3 chapters? As a
Train wreck, off a cliff, down into the abyss, into hell.
But we did it
Probably.
well.
How do I get the last 2 hours?
Disappointed!
Fever dream. Like a fever dream.
Yeah, I
Peppers.
mean, this
Yeah.
was peppers.
Give me a bag of peppers.
Oh my god, that
Peppers.
I can't even explain how nightmarish figuring out that that's what she was saying was.
Peppers.
Everything I looked up just said the word Pumal or Pumar
Oh yeah.
over and
Puma.
over. I had to open up my physical dictionary for Japanese terms and look at every vegetable and fruit I could think of, trying to find what she was almost saying.
Oh, yeah.
Appas and peppers for dinner.
Yeah, make sure to have some nice appas and peppers for dinner tonight, everyone.
Throw them in a saucepan. Pepsi. I was looking everywhere for that
Insanity.
Pepsi one.
Wait,
Oh, is that the Silent Hill 2 dog?
It
Oh,
actually
okay.
might be. I just noticed.
Yeah, it's like a higher quality version of it, but it's like, oh, it's a Silent Hill 2 puppy.
No, crazy.
Is that a bottle of? Is that a can of Pepsi?
Can of Pepsi.
Peppers.
Pepsi.
Wolfie, you gotta stop posting that
Yeah,
gif.
you seriously have to stop this. This is an
It's so-
intervention, please.
It's so good, how can I not use it?
You know what? I can probably just stream our chat real quick. It's safe enough.
Oh, it's a mess. It's a real mess over here.
So sorry for what I made you have to say, Wolf.
Oh, did someone say my name?
I was apologizing for writing awful scripts for you to have to say.
Oh, it's okay. It was really fun. I'm not Subaru, so it's okay. So when anyone ever compares me to Subaru, never again, okay?
Possessed. I
I'm not
become possessed with the
apologizing to you,
spirit that Tepe has written onto paper.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all.
The fucking hand of the author's been puppeting me, bro.
The sock puppet. It's just like somebody's hands right up. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Oh, he did because he didn't properly clench.
Is that
No!
Why have you forsaken me?
I had a dream the other night in, I don't think it was actual real Japanese. I think I was just playing whatever anime was on our TV while I was falling asleep in my head. But I had a dream that we met Tepe for whatever goddamn reason, and we had to thank him for all this. And he was like, yes, I've listened to it all. It's shit. But thank you for using my products. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Aw.
But that was just a dream. Maybe he'd be nicer if he would ever meet us.
Yeah, what would happen is that he'd be like, God, why are you making this? Is what he would say.
Why are you doing
mean,
this to my art?
What have you done
Yeah,
to my
let's not
small-
pretend that Tape is not a huge fucking nerd that plays D&D with the author of Konosuba.
Yes, he
We
is.
love
I mean,
we love to see it.
honestly, ReZero is just a D&D world, honestly. I've come to find.
Yeah.
But it's very funny. Anyways, yeah, this was an interesting tone for ReZero that, is very rare, I would say.
Yes, I like it. I like it
Especially
a lot. It's so
comparatively
fun.
to like Arc 5, Arc 4-ish, like this tone is like absent completely entirely. So like it's very interesting.
We get like a chapter and a half like this in Arc 5, where
Yeah, that's true, we do get
they're
like
like
one
us
chapter,
resting in the inn for the first night. Betty's complaining about her foot falling asleep and getting flicked, and that's about it.
Oh, true.
Oh my god.
Everybody's fan keeps.
I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm just starting to read Arc 7, and it feels more like D&D than any other arc beforehand. It just feels very weird, like it's just such a huge expansion of the world. Anyways, that's all I was going to say.
Are you still like in the early chapters for 7?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, yeah. That time it was.
Yeah.
Damn, pal. Damn. Why are you being rude like that, huh?
No, quiet. He does not. He is explicitly brutal to all of it and everyone. It can sound like a troll a lot of the time, but if you just read like the script itself, it can get the wrong impression. Like you really have to listen to him talk when he says things. A lot of people think that he hates Rem because of that.
Oh.
You know, he doesn't hate any character, okay?
Because if you say something like, I don't understand why people even like Rem, and you read that on a piece of paper, it sounds like disapproving or
Yeah,
like
I
he doesn't
think
like
I think
it.
it's one of those things where, as an author, you don't really know what'll hit as well as anybody else. It's
Mhm.
like he really likes Amelia, obviously, and he thinks of her as the heroine of the story. So when people kind of immediately got attached to, in the anime at least, especially Rem, it became really shocking to him because I think even in the people reading the web novels, he didn't get as big of a reception to Rem as he did to like other characters. So like I think he was surprised when the anime came out. People were like really obsessed, especially in the West. Like comparatively, from West to Japan, you know, like even then, like Rem is not as huge as like other characters in ReZero. So
Well, I know that at
Depressing.
least the readers of the web novel did enjoy her
Yeah,
like,
they
a lot
enjoyed
more
her.
than he was expecting.
Yeah.
Because he did add in like a extra prologue to the light novel for her. Like from her perspective before Arc 2 starts.
But Rem on her own, pretty much single-handedly, I don't know, like the sales of merchandise probably quad billion tripled after people started to like Rem is the best waifu of all
I will
time.
buy all of her merch, always and forever.
This
I
is
have
what,
3
okay,
models.
everybody. So Kylie's gonna make a lot of money doing a bunch of stuff maybe in the future, and all she's gonna spend is every single figurine of Rem.
Oh, my wall's gonna be Rem.
Why?
Yeah, she's gonna have 5 now. Like it's
We could have a Rem
like
wall. I'll have a Rem wall.
yeah.
No, how about we have neither?
Wolf is going to have his room, and he's gonna be like, there's gonna run out of space, and they're just gonna put a bunch of Rem figurines in his room.
We
and he's
have
gonna be
1
surrounded by-
Ram, 3 Rem, and 2 Amelia, and they were all gifted to us from Pat and Hollow. They're all just chilling on a shelf. I dust them on occasion.
I'm not gonna
Good.
lie. I think I would have like an omega mental breakdown if I woke up one morning and there was a load of Rem figurines all like around the room staring at me. I think
Yeah,
I'd be like, okay, this is
all wearing
my
different
sign.
dresses.
I just want the body pillow, man. Man. Sierra would love it too.
Well, what you
Sierra
have to
would
do
eat
is
it.
what you have to do is dress Wolf up as Rem, and then you can use him as a Rem body pillow.
Wow.
See, this is thinking.
Big brain.
Yeah.
All right, well, so good to see you all. We're gonna go do that now. I'm kidding. It's broken. We can't do that right now.
Yeah.
But that's such a good idea.
Yeah, I planted
That's
a
a
new
great
seed.
idea. You could dress up. Oh, Comic-Con this year. You could be Ram. I'll be Rem.
I could pull it off.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll shave my legs. We'll do it.
Perfect. Bet.
All right, well, I figured something out for both of them.
Thanks. Everyone's like, ew, shut the fuck up. Get out of here.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, let's go.
Just like Subaru discovering yet another new pleasure that he didn't know he had.
Oh, no.
And the moral of the story is, just no.
Just no.
Is this his 4th one now in the web novel that we've
The
gotten
moral of the story.
Fourth death or?
to? 4th discovered fetish just
Oh.
randomly in the chat.
Which is
Oh,
neglect,
yeah.
right? It's neglect this
It was
time?
being neglected this time.
Yeah, neglect it.
Should we have a counter? How many times he finds a new kink and how many times he dies? Which one surpasses the other?
You know what? That's a good question. We need to track this. It's going to
Yeah.
be really important.
I
Maybe
think so.
maybe maybe it'll be both at the same time one time. You know, who knows?
Wow, a death
Wha-
kink. Oh god, no!
I hope not.
That's unhealthy.
That's so unhealthy.
You think so?
That's what the real lust diff is about.
I do
Yep.
think death is the most unhealthy thing you can do.
I think so
Yeah.
too. There's a couple
You gotta be
others.
careful. You gotta be careful. That's
Maddie,
that's my blanket statement. I mean, I don't know. You just gotta be careful.
Just you gotta be careful. Please be careful. Maddie has a line. I will read. Subaru, who is this blue-haired girl I keep buying merch of? She's so cute.
My headcanon that Rem and Ram and Amelia are very close is I wish it was true.
Oh, honestly, all the content between Arc 4 and Arc 5 that I've seen, like that year, has been so cute. There's like one of Betty and Amelia that I want to do, and they're like hanging out, having a sleepover. It's so cute.
Oh, that's one of the
Drunk
best ones.
Amelia win.
That's true. They did get drunk once,
They did.
and Amelia did rub her head all over Rem. So there you go.
She sure did, and I have that GIF as my profile.
I don't know if that if the content for Memory Snow is on the license-free stuff or not. That may have been a short story with one of the light novels.
I don't think it has a web novel short story. I could be wrong. Not that I know of.
When in doubt, we could always use the script and go with that. We might be able to do that for member-only stream on Discord, potentially.
Ooh, I did say we should do some side story content. at some
Yeah,
point.
if we could figure out member-only Patreon Discord streams, because I know the events thing on Discord works. That way we can have it up there, and we could save that VOD too for anyone who comes in.
I mean,
afterwards.
honestly, we could just do it randomly for like, you know, if we just have a translation and we're like, okay, let's go ahead and
Honestly, yeah, we could open up to everyone.
on a whim, we can just be like, hey, you don't even have to really schedule it that often, you know what I mean, like that hard.
Oh shit!
Think about it. You could be like, oh, I have free time. Do you want to hop in and do this this side story?
Yeah,
Whoever wants to
okay.
play?
If I guess everyone here in the chat, everyone in our Discord chat too, if you guys have side content you want that's already translated, just like pop it in to. I guess we could make a channel for that.
This is a call to arms, everybody. If you guys have a side story that's translated, send it to us. Okay, that was me banging my desk.
Full send it.
No one
Lost
makes side
F.
content of Krush.
That's not true. She has
No, there's
4
a
like
few.
official light
Oh,
novels.
really?
She has she has 4. Her
Unfortunately,
own
unfortunately,
stories.
it's the stuff I don't think we can touch.
Absolutely.
course
Now
it
it's
On a
is.
Discord
Yes.
one we can though, because
Oh,
if it stays on
God.
Discord,
Oh, yeah, that's
it
true.
is
On
safe.
Discord, we can do it.
Because
yeah.
we are not monetized and it is a private server.
I have just discovered the dark memory.
And I can.
On when you say
very
side story, I've thought of a dark memory.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Last Eve side story.
Oh, don't worry, we're
yeah.
coming back with that. Don't worry.
Oh no. No, but the actual voice acting you did on that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh.
It was all because I fell
yeah.
asleep. I slept too late.
It was your fault.
And it was
This is
all my fault.
Gold's fault.
And now look at what happened. All that led, you know, like there's like a domino effect, right? Like a butterfly effect that led to you two being together. When you really think about it.
That's what it was. It was that.
That was
one.
all it was.
It was
yeah.
less stiff. Yep, you got me. I
Yeah.
think it was more so Pat and Wolf's chemistry as Priscilla and Subaru.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
really kind of wakens something inside of you. You're like, oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm
so
just
I
saying,
should-
a boys love manga starring me and Pat would be like the best thing ever. I'm just saying.
So true, bestie.
So
Best seller in 2 days.
Is there any like Beatrice side content? I'm not sure there is.
Yes.
there's quite a bit.
yes.
The one
Yeah,
in
it is.
particular I'm thinking of is you and me, Kiki, and a narrator.
Oh yay!
It's
Is
like
there-
28 pages long.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Get
We can call it
ready.
prep for season 3.
By the way, isn't there a side story where Liliana comes to the mansion? Does she speak in that? I don't remember.
Yes, she does. and she
Yes,
interacts
yes,
with
I
random
remember
things.
this. I think this is one of the few
Whoa.
ones I've read actually. Yeah.
It's in one of the ones that got compiled into like the big anthology of short stories that they released as a light novel in Japan not too long ago.
It looks like I got to head off for now.
Okay.
Thank you, Kiki.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
Have a
Kiki.
nice
Bye.
day.
Have a
Thank
nice
you for
day.
tuning in.
Have a nice
We love
day.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye, Jen.
Bye.
Bye, Kiki.
Yeah. Okay, well that sounds exciting. Doing all these side content will be nice. Another thing that we have to note is that there is a ReZero live stream tonight.
There
Isn't that
is.
Oh, really?
Do we know the time EST? I heard 9.
9, right?
9? Okay, I'll
I'll
schedule
double
it for
check
then.
right now.
Because I just couldn't find it. I saw it on Twitter this morning. I was like, oh, finally. There it is.
Wait, at what time is it?
9 p.m. EST.
So that
Oh,
would
well,
be pretty
fuck.
late for you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Midday?
Midday for you, Cameron.
Midday
100%.
for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a decent hour for you, finally. Oh, yeah, Maddie, you're good.
Oh.
And you know, I think there's a decent chance. What do you guys think the chances that they show ReZero stuff? They announce like a date. They announce.
I feel like there's a high chance. I know everyone's saying there's not, but I feel like there definitely could be. If they're gonna do this, they would at least have like a speculated date.
I know what they're gonna do, and it's not gonna just disappoint one side of people. It's gonna disappoint everyone. They're gonna announce yet another mobile game
Yeah,
that is not
that's
gonna
true.
have
I
a
hope
global
not.
release.
That's true.
I
I
hope
agree with
not.
True.
I really
They're
hope
gonna
not.
announce a
Biggest
trading
chance
card
is
game that has that's gonna be only in Japan and it's not gonna.
Oh
be
yeah,
other-
yeah. We're not gonna open it up to other markets because that would be profitable or something.
Just put an extended trailer for season 3 and the goddamn release date.
Or even better,
honestly.
they're gonna announce another crossover with yet another mobile gacha game.
That's true.
Where some ReZero characters get in there. I've seen like 5 of those already. Come on, we need another
No,
one.
you know what? They'll mix it up this time. It'll be a pachinko.
Oh no, there is a pachinko ReZero thing, and it has an actually important scene.
No,
That's-
Oh,
it has
no.
an important
They do that a lot.
exclusive
I was
scene.
just thinking of what they did to Silent Hill with the pachinko.
You know, like
What?
there's some really funny like pachinko only scenes. Like for example, in Metal Gear, there's like a scene only in a pachinko machine that like gives context to a character that you don't see.
What?
And you're
Oh
like,
no.
What the hell?
The fuck? Japan really gotchifying every single element
Yeah,
they can.
they've been doing this for a very long time.
Sad,
They know what
man.
they're doing.
They love gambling. It's not gambling, you know, gambling's illegal, but pachinko machines, that's not illegal.
Hey,
Gambling.
I'm a gacha gamer. I like those odds.
Sorry, I gotta get going because I have to go pick up a gazebo and help Minion number 1 with finding the practice test for a
You
driver's
gotta
permit.
pick up an entire gazebo.
But we have to put it together when we get home. But yeah.
Okay,
How much you bench press?
I know, right? You're gonna pick it up all by yourself.
Good luck.
Well, I am bringing my husband to help, so I only have to pick up half of it, but
Oh,
Okay.
good.
it's still pretty big.
Just lean it up higher so he takes most of it, but it looks like you're doing the job.
Well, he's taller than I am
Yeah.
anyway, so he's naturally going to be doing that.
Oh hell yeah!
So there we go.
Bye, Tail.
But yeah,
Howard
I
Giodi,
gotta
thank
go.
you so much for stopping
Bye,
by.
take care.
We love
Bye,
you.
y'all.
Bye.
Okay, I hate to be the one that lives under the rock, but what is a Kazimbo?
Oh, okay, so you know, in backyards, especially in North America, we have them a lot. There's sometimes you can put these, like, round covers over your backyard patio, and it just gives you a spot to sit that's covered. So it's kind of like a shed that you can sit in. It can be, like an actual building that stays up, or it could be like a tent that you can take down.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, yeah, Connor posted one in staff.
Oh,
chat.
Yeah, there you
okay.
go.
Yeah, I know what that is. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we call
I've
it
been-
gazebo.
Okay.
You're such a gazebo.
You're such a gazebo. I
What
house
does that
people.
even mean?
That sounds like an insult. You're such a gazebo.
Yeah, it does sound like an insult.
We should make like a bingo to see like, okay, so is a new bookmark released? Mobile game ad, a skit, a skit between the cast members.
I hope it's a release
That's
date for
untranslated, so we don't know what they're
season
saying, but
Oh, we
they're
love
having
that.
fun.
We'd love to
I
see
will
them
do
have
my best to catch what they're trying to say as I go through.
We appreciate you so much. Your translation efforts have like brought this up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Connor.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yo.
Connor squared.
I've been listening to the other streams we've done for the live reads for Arc 1 and 2 at work while I'm stuck in an office with no windows in a closed environment.
Oh god.
And
Oh,
I've realized just
God.
how I've slowly just been adding on. Just like, yeah, I'll just add the names. Well, I did a little bit of editing this time. I caught some mistranslations, put those in. I had to retranslate about half this entire chapter. I gave up on the already translated English ones. It's all from scratch.
You're turning into me, literally. I'm like, I'll just do this. Yeah, okay, we'll add on this. All right, well, let me just manage the whole channel. Welcome. It's a freaking disease.
Literally.
Literally.
Literally, yeah.
Literally.
Literally.
Literally
It's
up a
better
water.
than just staying all day doing nothing.
Now you guys are just making fun of him. What the hell?
I'm
Hey, you can't make fun of him like that,
right.
guys.
What did I do to you, yeah?
Colonize half the world.
I'm calling HR.
It wasn't
I am HR.
it wasn't colonization, it was yeah.
There's some weird power dynamics between the boss and the employee here. I don't know what's going on.
It's a pre-existing relationship.
Exactly. It's not nepotism.
Super loves nepotism anyway.
You do.
That was a pretty pog line, if I do say so myself.
Hell, those lines were slapping today.
Lines were based, bro.
Based. Oh my
Those
god.
lines were hecking smoking
Oh my
hot,
god,
bro.
do you know those really bad YouTube shorts where it's got like a random clip of Andrew Tate and he's saying something really dumb and it's got like inspirational music behind it?
Mm-hmm.
I could just
Yeah.
imagine that with some of Subaru's quotes from these chapters. You just get like a pictures of Subaru, you put up the quotes on the screen, and then you just put some inspirational music in the background.
Okay, but you know like how like all those videos randomly have like a filter over it that makes it worse quality?
Yeah.
than the regular video? I don't know why.
It's so that the
And like half of the
algorithm
screen is
recognizes
just
it
a
as different
game like
content.
Subway Surfers or Minecraft then.
It adds that, but the filter and the music make it so that it doesn't recognize it as the same video you've already seen. So if you've like refused it, then it can come back again.
Oh god.
So as part of like
Gee.
his channel or whatever he does, like his freaking school Discord, as part of it, you have to like post the edited clips to your own YouTube channel.
Is that why I keep on getting them despite me saying I'm not interested and also disliking them?
Yes.
Yep.
Love that.
We love that for me.
Love that. I'm Natasha, an underworld doctor.
Yeah, I'm
Feeling
Natasha
sick?
and I'm an underworld doctor. Are you feeling sick?
If you want to fix your algorithm, just find
I
the
am
channel that
angry.
does
I'm
the
just
speedrunning
found out.
shorts, binge them all, and then it like completely resets what it's trying to show you.
Hey, yo, let's go. All right, friends. Any last things before we hang up on chat?
Yeah, Chad. Come here. Come here. No, come closer. All right. Thank you all for joining us today. It was a very lovely time. Everybody worked really hard trying to get all these chapters out every single week. Our live streams, managing stuff. It's all coming together pretty well. I want to thank you all for kind of being here every single week. The people that, you know, are regulars, thank you very much. And also, yeah, just please make sure to, you know, kind of help us out a bit. If it's reading our content, if it's supporting us monetarily, there's a Patreon or membership, that helps a ton. But also just leaving a like or comment at the end of any stream. People who timestamp the chapters, thank you very much. I really appreciate that because that helps a lot of people who aren't necessarily wanting to listen to our dumb meandering every single time we go through a chapter. I understand that completely. But yeah, it's nice that we had a very lovely chapter. I think we all did a great job, so thank you very much. Everyone say thank you to all the voice actors here. And also, be especially nice to Connor, who, you know, puts together these, you know, translations really well and on time. And yeah, I'm really excited to continue on, and hopefully we can do some more fun things, whether it be, you know, side story content or, you know, I'm just seeing you next week. So that sounds nice. But also tonight we're going to be trying to make the live stream, so make sure to see you then as well if you're interested.
Yep.
Thank you, Roswell Santa.
Roswell Santa.
too close to chat, Roswell.
Yeah,
but
he
thank
was
you.
like, yeah, come here, chat. Come, let us discuss.
Come sit on my lap.
Cool.
Oh god.
I can imagine Roswell in a Santa suit saying that, and I felt a chill go up my spine.
Everyone runs away.
And with
Another
that,
tier unlocked today.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
we'll see you next
love
time.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
I hope
Bye-bye.
everybody